So I'm thinking about our strategy here, and we have a couple of options. Option two is fire up the war machine. Hi, friends! How are you? This is the Chaldonut speaking, and welcome back to some more Civilization 5. We're back in the Japan Emperor game today. Looking at the demographics, we're still relevant, but we are not doing particularly well. Fortunately, we did manage to get a hold of um, the Assyrian capital, which puts us in a better position, but as it has exactly 0 buildings, it's not great. So I'm thinking about our strategy here, and we have a couple of options. Option one is keep doing what I normally do in Civ and kind of turtle, be peaceful, and try to just develop our science and industry. Option two is fire up the war machine, come after Panama City, take it down, possibly liberate it if that's possible. I don't know if it being Venice's city affects how you liberate city-states at all. But that would be cool, because that would get us another city-state ally. And then my eventual goal, if I went War Machine route, would be to take Venice, because I'm sure it's got some wonders. It's a holy city. It's got tons of copper. So it's a pretty juicy city, I'll be honest. So I would say that's option B. That's the aggressive route that we can go with. And honestly, it's not a bad call. I don't think that's is kind of the laughing stock of the world. Wow, wow, Assyria. I just, conquered your capital, and that's what you think of me? I thought we were still at war with Assyria. I couldn't remember. It's been a while since I recorded last episode. Um, Anyway, I'd like to get some military out anyway, because we are down to a few units here, and no matter what we do, I'd like to be able to defend ourselves. So I'm going to try to push for a few units. We've got iron, although not a ton of it. So I'd like to push out some samurai here as well. And I think that could really help us out. You, however, Tokyo, still need a workshop, so I'm going to get you that first before I do anything else. Colosseum is a better idea in Osaka, and then you need a Colosseum? No, you're good. Okay. And Kyoto has a Colosseum. Okay. Just because we're unhappy right now, I'd like to remedy that situation, so I'm keeping an eye on the happiness right now. Let's bring this composite back up, too, because we need to deal with that barb camp up there. You heal up. Chariot Archer, you can actually come over and assist with this barb camp, and that'll help out. So I'm thinking we're going to go the military route, just because it's something new for me, and I think that's a better way to play Japan. Because I doubt I can honestly win a cultural victory. I'm not very skilled at it. I seriously don't think I could do it. I do think, however, that I might be able to manage to pull off a military victory. Or, well, not even a military victory, but I would be able to pull off some military successes. So I'd like to start ramping up the military, getting that going. Research agreement. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Sounds good. I'll take some extra science right now, even if eventually you may be my target. Now, how are we doing on happiness here? Again, I was trying to build this Colosseum here. We need one in here as well, in a sewer. I don't know what to do about it, though. Anyway, let's see. Compass, banking. I would steal banking before compass, because we need that to get to our later text, scientific theory, things like that. Ooh, I can promote you to a knight. It's not really worth it, though. I can suicide you into him, which feels a little stupid, but I'm gonna do it anyway. You come up here to help out, because we're losing this battle with the pikemen. What else? Unit needs orders. Caravan, where were you going? Tokyo with food. I don't know if I want to do that. Can I send a trade route to any city-states? Okay, these guys don't want any trade routes, so that's not going to help us out. Tokyo's not a bad move, honestly. So I'm just going to send it there. That's fine. Next turn. I'm not super happy with our total population. It's not great at 36, but, I mean, overall, it also isn't too bad. 2 million people, it's kind of a middle-of-the-road stat, and that's been the general trend with our game. We've been in the middle of the pack, which is to be expected for Emperor, and especially because we're playing Standard, aren't we? Yeah, so not only are we playing against more difficult players, we're also playing against more of them, so it's harder to get wonders. And also, this is really my first game. Well, not my first game on Emperor, but I've never won on Emperor, so it's definitely a challenging situation. So we're going to try to build up that army, as I was saying. I think that's going to be our ticket. With Bushido as our ability, I think we really need to push that and use it to our advantage here. Now, what is our military looking like down here? I really don't think we should pull these units back. I think we kind of need to keep most of them here. We're going to leave 3, I think. We're going to pull this composite back, promote this guy to a crossbowman eventually, and then just leave these 3 here as a standing army against the Assyrians. But then, we're going to take all our other guys and start using them to build up a solid force to liberate Panama City, and then hopefully march over to Venice and take it down. Because I think Venice has the smallest military. I'm pretty sure that's right, and it is. Yep. And Venice definitely has a very nice city, which I think could really, really help us out in our combat here. Well, not in our combat, but in our quest to remedy our situation, because we are in a tough spot. That is definitely true, but, I mean, 112 science per turn, we're doing fine. And that science number does make me question whether the military attack is the right move. But we're going to push it because there are players with 820 points. Or a player. There is a player with that much. And we're going nowhere right now relative to them. Like, we'll make some progress for sure. But I feel like with Japan's abilities, really the way we should play them is with a more aggressive strategy, and that's what we're going to try. And that's kind of fun for me, because I've never done that before, really. I've never, aside from like one game I played for fun where I was the Huns, I've never really pushed military that hard, and this is going to be new and exciting for me. Although, we will take a detour to try to pick up the standard wonders I go for, Leaning Tower, and Porcelain Tower. I'd like to pick those up if I can. Great Merchant, okay. I guess we'll go to Ormus with you. Yeah, sure, okay. And then you build a trebuchet, because we need to build up this army, get it ready for the conquest of Venice. Let's see, what else can we do? I'd like to look into some other buildings after this trebuchet here. Is there anything else really essential that I should be picking up right now? National Epic. That's a good thing to take a detour for. And then maybe I'll grab a crossbowman. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. And then here, what should you be building after this? Honestly, probably a market. That would be a good idea. I'd like to really push, obviously, the military, but I also don't want to totally commit. I want to... I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket, because that's just going to be risky, ultimately. The best option, I feel like, is going to be to really hedge our bets, and we're going to try to attempt this. Okay, we're friends with Ormus. Can I buy him off too? That's not enough to be allies, so I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm trying to, hopefully, if I do this right, build up a large military that we don't really have to support by building more units later. Build up that large military, and then afterwards, we can be done with military production and really focus on getting those key wonders and things like that. Do I have two of the gold? I do have two of the gold. Okay. And you're going to give me 6 gold per turn and an embassy. That sounds good. Okay. Cool. Yeah. That's cool. Finding out where you are and getting your money is really awesome. So I'll take it. So we're just trying to build up some military at this point. That's really all that's going on. Good news is, Assur is building a circus, which is going to help our happiness even more. No, I don't... Well, there's iron involved. Do I have 2 of these? I have 4 of those truffles. Okay. Yeah, that's another iron. That gives us another samurai. I'm up for that, man. Embassy gems for truffles. You only have 1 of them, but I have a ton of truffles, so I'll do it. That gives me more happiness, too. I mean, I really want to go happiness, and I'm okay with this deal because I need that happiness. I need those luxuries, and I usually don't accept open borders, but I'll do it in this case. I'll make an exception because he's offering me a luxury, and I am kind of low on happiness. So I think that's a good deal. Anyway, we're about to get the trebuchet, then we're going to get leaning tower. Then really, rather than build these 2 things, I mean, National Epic's big, but I need happiness if I'm going to push the military. So I'm going to go for Circus Maximus here. It's a national wonder, so we will get it. It's just going to take some time, and I think ultimately that's a good investment. No, you're just giving me money. That's lame. No interest in that. And finally, our cities are back and growing with all that happiness that we just pumped into them. So that's awesome. They've been stagnant for a very long time. So I'm glad we're really moving forward here. Let's see. Can I build more caravans? I can. That is a good idea. I would like to get a caravan going right here. Before I build that market, I'd like a caravan heading to Osaka because it's low on population and the other 2 are really growing, and I'd like to keep that up. I mean, for now, I'll do that trade. Eventually, if I'm attacking you, that won't be relevant anymore, but I'll take it for now. Great writer, okay. Let's see. I guess we'll create the great work. It's still pretty early in the game, and we can use some culture. I used to always just pop the great writers for their culture boost, but ultimately I've sort of decided that that's not really very effective, because in the long run what you're aiming for is increased culture per turn. So in the early game, that's going to get you, like, creating the great work is going to get you more culture than getting the culture boost, especially if your culture is already pretty low at the time. Late game, you want to consider just using them for a culture boost because, you know, you're only getting 2 more culture per turn, and there aren't necessarily that many turns left. Plus, your culture is probably already pretty good. So it all kind of depends there on what stage you are in the game. Right now, for us, still pretty early, turn 137. I don't think we get that much culture from the culture boost anyway, so it's fine to go for the great work here. Ooh, it looks like we got World Congress. Is that right? Yeah. And World Congress, let's look. Who's the host? Okay, the Iroquois. Venice has 3 delegates, and everybody else has 1. Okay. Golden Age begins for us. Awesome. That's a lot of money. Um, we can buy some units if we're interested. We can also buy some buildings, which would be good. A forge, extra production, that could be big. Look over here. We wanted to build Leaning Tower. We really need to pick up that workshop and get the ironworks, but we're building it, so I don't think we'll worry about it. I would like to pump out a samurai, because we do have that iron coming in. Should I buy that, though? I don't think that's worth buying either. None of these things are really things we should buy. I think we'll hold on to the gold. We may want to buy units or buildings, depending on what we start focusing during the war. Whether we need to build more units and we do that, or if we go more civilian production during that time. It all depends on how the war goes. So we're going to wait on that. Anyway, if I come in here, just trying to look if the Leaning Tower of Pisa is sensible for us to do. And I think it'll be okay. What else? We could build a zoo. We could buy a zoo, too. That could be helpful. Just trying to think if there's anything else crucial for me to get. We'll get more crossbowmen afterwards. Once this is done, that seems like a good move. Then forge. I'm thinking forge next. Then market. Yeah. Because more production is needed for all our cities right now. We really don't have enough. And that can help us out. So we're going to do that. Gold for truffles. I have 2 truffles, right? Yeah, okay. Actually, no, I don't really want that. I'd much rather do double luxuries, because I'm about to attack, and I'm going to lose some happiness from that. Oh, we missed out on Leaning Tower. That sucks. Yeah, in that case, we definitely need to push military, because we're missing out on our key wonders anyway. We may as well just try to get a boost here. No, we're not going to build that samurai in time. Our iron deal is going to run out by then. Yeah, so we're just going to try to keep pushing here. Try to build up a sizable army. And then in a few turns, maybe we'll go after them. Let's see. Pikemen could be big. That could help us out. This is cool. I enjoy doing the military stuff in Civ. It is pretty fun. I could send production now, but I think we just need more population. We really don't have enough pop. And this is going to help our science, too, because more population is really good for us. Because of the libraries and universities and public schools eventually. I think research labs is based a little differently. But all of those science buildings are based on the populations in your city. So, very important for us to keep trying to grow for that reason. Anyway, we're almost ready to go here. If we can take Venice, I think we're good. But that's a long way to go. I don't know if we can manage it. It's going to be a challenge. If we can get Venice, I think we're very competitive, and we have a very good shot at winning this game. But if we don't get Venice, we're probably going to lose horribly. That's just the facts, guys. We can't be competitive unless we pick this up. Sewer demands wine. Don't really care too much about that. Alright, so just a few turns here. I mean, it's a 26 defense city. I think we can do this, guys. One thing I will do, to speed this up, I'm going to move this trebuchet, actually, over this way. We're going to clear a path for him. Is this is a forest. Okay, then I need to move you there, so I can start clearing a path for this dude. Because we want to get our trebuchets, 2 tiles away from the city. And that's a good spot. We'll move this guy, I think, over to there eventually. You were going to Kyoto with food. Keep doing that. We're still in that golden age, which is helping us out a lot. Very happy about that. You stay put, because if you move there, you're going to start blocking the trebuchet a little bit. So you can just wait. We are coming up on architecture here, guys. So we do need to think about going for the porcelain tower. I'd like to do that, because that's a big wonder. You get a free great scientist, you get great scientist points, and there is more science from research agreements too. So that's a really good one. You are going to set up to attack, but really you're not going to attack there if all goes according to plan. I thought you were at like 2 turns. Was that wrong? What happened? That changed suddenly. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, you should probably stay alert. That's fine. We have a barbarian coming in on this side that I ought to deal with. So let's actually bring this guy over, this pikeman, and we're going to take him down. Now the question for us right now is, are we better off picking up an academy or saving this guy for the great scientist boosts later in the game? I think I'm going to go academy because we are struggling a bit on science. And I'd like to bring that up a bit. 198 there, you see. So that's pretty helpful. Ultimately, popping the great scientist could have been really good for us too. But I think, considering just how far behind we are, we really needed that boost from the academy per turn right now. Because we've got maybe like 60-something turns here before we reach, modern information eras. More than that, probably, but not too much more. So we're thinking, 8 more science per turn for that long. It's probably about 480. So ultimately, great scientist boost, if we're looking at our science per turn, might have been better. Yeah, it probably would have been a bit better in terms of raw science output this game, but that's okay. I'll take the boost now. I think it'll help us long term. Obviously, I've just griped a little bit about how it may not be the most helpful thing long term, but that's trivial, ultimately. There are tons of micro decisions in Civ, and sometimes... Wow, okay. So Assyria is dissing us big time. I'd like you to take a look at your score, man, and who has your capital before you start dissing me like crazy, man. Just saying. Anyway. You come back here, considering how hostile this dude is. We really need to keep our defense up. No, I meant to move this guy, this pikeman down, because we do need to keep up this front. That's why I didn't move these units away, because I knew how angry the Assyrians were at us, and they are a militaristic civ. They're not very advanced, they're really not that big a threat. But if we leave this city untended, they could take it back, and then that's a ton of turns of work earlier in the game totally wasted, which we really don't want. Ooh, could I move this guy down that way? That would be much better. I'll just wait. It's 1 turn loss to move this guy here during the war, set him up, and fire. So that's not too bad. Where can I get these crossbowmen? I'm going to move this one kind of over this way to set up. This guy's kind of going to be blocked off, I think. And I guess that's okay. Anyway, we're almost ready to attack here, actually. We have a lot of military units going. I'm actually going to take a break from military production, I think, though. And then in Osaka, we're going to build a caravan, because we do need to continue to increase our food output, because we really don't have enough right now. If we look at our population now, we are bringing it up. We brought it up about 1 million people. But we're not doing tremendously well there. And if we increase our pop, we're going to get more science, as I explained earlier. And we're going to have more tiles we can work and more specialists. And it's just going to be all really, really nice. I'll take your free money. You can't give me luxuries, so I'll do it. Awesome. Okay. So, we're going to try to take Panama City here. Depending on what we see in the city, we may liberate it. We may just puppet it like Venice itself has done. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to move our guys in a position here, and then we're going to launch the assault. So, I think, honestly, there's not really much more positioning I can do, because my units are just kind of stuck here with this mountain range in the way. So it may be time to just start the war, though I feel like maybe we should wait for a couple more units to come out. So we'll do that, I guess. Well, No, that's probably not smart. We should just start probably right now. So we're gonna start. We're gonna try it. Why can't you shoot? Oh, we have no visibility. Ah. All right, we're gonna do this, people. Um, I mean, they're the only people who really like us. I'll be honest. So that's kind of rough. I just saw something really jump out at me though. Look at the Iroquois. They covet lands I currently own. Look down here. Do you see how far away these people are from me? And they covet lands that I currently own. Are you kidding me? Alright, anyway, let's get this started. I feel like it is honestly our only shot, so we're gonna do this. I'm sorry, you are my only friend, it seems, but I feel like it's just time to do it. We have to do something. So this is our shot. This is our objective, and we're gonna give it a go. However, it looks like, judging by the time, we are going to have to continue the war, uh, or really execute the war, next episode because we are pretty much out of time here. So, I hope you have enjoyed, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe if you did. This has been the Chaldonut speaking. Goodbye, friends, and I will see you all next time with some more Civilization 5.